In this video, we're going to talk about how we can include iteration with functions off Canvas. So I'm actually just going to open this image up a little bit more, and we're going to talk about what is actually happening right now. I'm going to turn on the pen on. We have a variable, Schumann array, and it's equal to A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. For var I 0, I less than Schumann array dot length, I plus equals 1. Now this line 2 is we are iterating. We're going to look at everything in the list. So let's try that again. It's my first time using the pen, sorry. I is 0. So if Schumann array bracket I, which means when I'm 0, so I'm at A, if it equals A, then the sentence is A for angle. And then it says console.log sentence. So it would print sentence, A for angle. Then, are we at the end of the list? No. So this would become 1. Then Schumann array would look at B. So is Schumann array at position 1 A? No. Is it E? No. So otherwise, I would put the letter and it would print the letter B. Are we at the end? Nope. So I become 2. Now I'm looking at C. I have my sentence. Is my letter at position 2 A? No. Is my letter at position 2 E? No. So then it would print the letter is C. Are we at the end? No. It would become 3. Is my element at position 3 of my array A? No. Is it E? No. Is it, so then it would do the else. The letter is D. We would continue going, and I'll probably stop after this one, but then we would be looking at E. Is the element at position 4 A? No. Is the element at position 4 E? Yes. So I would print eek, a boolean goes. So this is just a reminder of what iteration is doing. This is iterating over an array, which is our strongest type of iteration. It also has a conditional inside of it. We are going to go ahead and try to add some iteration into functions. So we're going to take that and we're going to try and mimic this idea so that we could do this process over any array. Go ahead and open up this code. This is a great reminder that you should pause this video, rewind this video, do whatever you need so you get this information. I don't know what that is, right? Okay, so we are off Canvas. I'm just going to go ahead and save this, and I'm going to put this in 4. So I have already made test arrays for you so that you didn't have to come up with them. I made array 1, which is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Array 2, which is just some numbers. Array 3, which is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Array 4, a bunch of random numbers. Array 5 is a bunch of random numbers, but they include negatives. So make a function together that takes an array as a parameter and adds up all the elements in the array. So I just want to actually take a second and I'm going to do 2 things. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to open Google and see like add up numbers and see if that didn't do anything. Great. I just Googled add up numbers and I clicked the first thing and I'm just going to paste the first one so that we have it. The sum is this. So that should be what we get. So let's make a function together that takes an array as a parameter and adds up all the elements in the array. I'm just going to set my function up. Function add array maybe. And inside as a parameter, it needs an array. Now let's talk about what it's going to do every time it is adding things together. It starts when you add something, like if I have all of these numbers, I would probably start at nothing. I would add 152 to it, okay, and then I would get 152, and then I would add 679 to 152, and then whatever I get, I would add 345 to it. And so it seems like I would be starting at 0. I would look at every element in the array. For each element in the array, I would add it to my current total. And then at the end, I would have a total. When I'm doing functions that I don't necessarily know how to do, I like to do this. I like to add comments that show what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to start. We are starting at 0. We need to have something that keeps track of what it is, like what is our total. We need a variable. So I'm going to make a variable. Maybe I'm going to call it current, sorry about my hiccup, cur total, or my current total. And we said it was starting at 0, so I'm going to say starting at 0. We need to look at every element in the array, and if we want to look at every element in an array, we need to iterate. So I'm going to set up a for loop, and we're going to iterate over the array. So I could do something like var ind equals 0, ind less than. Now this is where it gets tricky. We're not specifically right now talking about any of these arrays. We're talking about a general array. So we're going to use our placeholder here, our parameter. While we're less than the nArray.length, ind plus equals 1. What this is going to do is it's going to take whatever array exists there and finds the length of it. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So for the first one, it would do 12 numbers. For the second one, it would do 15. And for the last one, it would do 12 again. So we've done this. We did this. For each element in the array, I would add it to my current total. So I would say that my cur total, I'm going to add to whatever is at my position's end in my array. So I'm going to add an array bracket end. Okay. And at the end, I have a total, which means I need to return my cur total. If we have done this correctly, if I call this on array 2, that's the number I should get. So I'm going to try it. Var add1 equals add array. I think that's what I called it. Yep. And I'm going to put array 2 inside of it. And let's just check it, and that's what we got. I will find out what the actual numbers are for these ones too. And this. Okay. So let's go test it out. It's array 4. Array 5. Oh, I console.log the wrong one. Sorry about that. And that's the numbers we were supposed to get. Now, just for fun, I would love to try and do one with words. So I'm going to try array 3. Or add 4, add array 3. I just want to show you that this works for everything. It took the number 0 we started with and it added Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and Friday. So it works for strings too, but strings aren't numbers, so it just smacks them together like it's concatenating. Okay, so we're going to try and do another one. Let's make a function together that takes an array as a parameter and counts the number of elements in the array without using length. So I want you to take a second. So, well, first let's set up the function. I'm going to say array or maybe element counter, and it's going to take in an array. I would love for you to pause this video and try and pseudocode what you think we'll need to do. Okay, so I think that I would start counting at 0. I would look at every element in the array. For each element, I would count it or add 1 to my total count. And then at the end, I would what did I say up here? Yeah, just at the end, I would have the total. So again, to start counting at 0, we need something where we're storing this. We're going to need a variable. And maybe I'm going to call it as var total count. And I'm going to start it at 0. I'm going to look this, and I'll add a comment here. This is a local variable to represent the total number of elements I have already counted. So we have a variable. Then I'm going to look at every element, which means we need to iterate over the array. For var, I'm going to do I equals 0. I is less than an array.length. I plus equals 1. Now, if you want, you can also always console.log an array bracket. You could print it out. You could print out the current element of the array if you wanted to see it. But what we really need to do, so we are iterating, we need to, for each element, I would count it, meaning add 1 to my total count. So I would say, okay, my total count is being increased by 1. This is adding 1 to keep track of current total of elements. And then at the end, we're going to return total count. Before we run it, let's go see how many elements there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I already said that array 2 is 12. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 8, 12, and 5. Let's go ahead and try it. Var, I'm going to say count 1 equals, what do we call it? Element counter. Array 1. Count 2. Let's go ahead and take a look. So I also have it printing all the elements. That was what my console.log an array. But we said we had 8 elements. That was true. And then we said we had 12 elements, which is true. And then 5 elements, which is true. You can always comment that other console.log out if you would like. I'm going to pause this video right now because it's a little bit long, and make another one for the next challenges.